This year, the movie scene has filled up with a lot of bangers throughout the year, and I already got an idea of what my top 10 list is going to look like. I'm going to be going through the major theatrical movie releases that are coming out for December 2023. We've made it to the end of the year as we wrap up the last month of movies that you may all want to see during the holidays. Bayhive is in for a treat, the chocolate fanatics will be blessed, and the DCEU comes to a close with these major theatrical movie releases that are coming out in December. Like always, if you like any of the movies on this list, make sure to give a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and now let's get on to December 2023 movie releases.
For this tour was to create a place where everyone is free and no one is judged. Unique.
So first up on the list, Beyonce. The Renaissance World Tour ranks high on the highest grossing tours of all time list, and we get to see the behind the scenes sneak peek at the amazing mind of Beyonce as she coordinates this massive world tour. We get peeks of her husband Jay-Z, her children Blue Ivy, Rumi and Sir, and appearances from Diana Ross and Kendrick Lamar. In a must-see concert film documentary directed by Beyonce Knowles Carter, Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, releases in theaters December 1st.
You're a liar. Your goal is misery. I prefer the term chaos.
So up next, we go into the world of science fiction with this Angel Studios release titled The Shift. The main character, Kevin, attempts to return to his wife, but when he meets a mysterious stranger known as the Benefactor, he turns his world upside down after refusing his offer of wealth and power, and he must go through different dystopian realities to reunite with his wife. Directed by Brock Heasley, starring Christopher Kalaha and Neil McDonough, The Shift releases in theaters December 1st. So up next, now I think we may have on our hands possibly the best Godzilla film of all time, with Takashi Yamazaki's iteration of Godzilla with Godzilla Minus One. We get a look at post-war Japan being at its absolute weakest state when a threat emerges in the form of a giant monster named Godzilla as he looms in and attempts to destroy Japan and Tokyo specifically. Starring Ryunosuke Kamiki, Godzilla Minus One releases in theaters December 1st. And finally, the last movie release of December 1st is a film from John Woo named Silent Night. This film actually has no dialogue and is 104 straight minutes of score and background noise. The movie centers around a grieving father who loses his son in a gang crossfire and also loses his voice, and then proceeds to ply his revenge on that gang. Directed by John Woo, starring Joel Kinnaman, Kid Cudi, Harold Torres, and Catalina Sandino Moreno, Silent Night releases in theaters December 1st.
Mahito.
So, you made it.
Mother!
Keeping in the lane of Japanese-based production movies, we have this gem coming from Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki with The Boy and the Heron. We follow through the life of a young boy named Mahito who lost his mother through a tragic hospital fire during the Pacific War in Japan and yearns for his mother as he ventures into a world shared by the living and the dead where death comes to the end and life finds a new beginning. So directed by Hayao Miyazaki, starring Soma Santoki, The Boy and the Heron releases in theaters December 8th.
She is very smart.
I'm Rebecca.
I know.
I don't think I caught your name.
So up next, we got our first thriller of the month with a psychological thriller at that, with the release of Eileen. The movie, which is set in the 1960s New England, centers around Eileen Dunlop, who works at a prison and ends up befriending this counselor, and then things take turn for the worst. Directed by William Oldroyd, starring Thomasin McKenzie, Shea Whigham, Marin Ireland, Owen Teague, and Anne Hathaway, Eileen releases in theaters December 8th.
save me from Kingsman!
I can show you a life beyond what you've ever known. Freedom.
So our next December 8th release is set in 400 AD ancient America, where a lone Hebraic fugitive, Moroni, must preserve the history of his fallen nation while being hunted by a ruthless tyrant. This action-adventure film is directed by Darren Scott, who also stars as the film's lead alongside Billy Zane and Eugene Brave Rock. The Oath releases in theaters December 8th.
Everything, not just the good, but degradation.
Shall we sing?
So up next for December 8th is another highly anticipated film with a solid cast titled Poor Thing. This movie tells the story of Bella Baxter, a young woman brought back to life by the brilliant and unorthodox scientist named Dr. Goodwin Baxter. Directed by Yorgos Lanthimos and starring Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe, Rami Youssef, and Gerard Carmichael, this fantastical film releases December 8th.
That I am a perfectly respectable size for an Oompa Loompa.
An Oompa what now?
In fact, in Loompa-land, I am regarded as something of a whopper.
So moving along to the weekend of December 15th, we have one of the top films releasing this month stemming from the successes of its previous Willy Wonka-based movies with Wonka, a rags-to-riches story about how one of the world's most brilliant minds in the eyes of chocolate and candy became the man known as Willy Wonka. Directed by Paul King, starring Timothée Chalamet, with appearances from Hugh Grant, Keegan-Michael Key, and more, Wonka releases December 15th in theaters.
Your books are good, but they're not popular. Editors, they want a black book.
They have a black book. I'm black, and it's my book.
So up next on the mid-December slate is the film American Fiction, which is a comedy drama about an author by the name of Monk who is tired of the stereotypical black literature making bank on the bestsellers list. So jokingly, he writes one himself, which ends up being widely popular and critically acclaimed in its own right. Directed by Court Jefferson, starring Jeffrey Wright, Tracee Ellis Ross, Issa Rae, and Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction releases in theaters December 15th.
Baby boy, talking to the fishies? You and me, son, we're different. We're special. We're connected to the land and the sea. I can't wait to introduce you to all the majestic.
So gearing towards the last leg of movies releasing in December, we have the final installment of a farewell chapter to the DC Extended Universe before ushering in a new era of DC. We have Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Aquaman is turning a new leaf as a soon-to-be married groom while balancing being king and a member of the Justice League. The big bad in the movie, Black Manta, is looking to crumble all of that. Directed by James Wan, starring Jason Momoa, Patrick Wilson, Amber Heard, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and Nicole Kidman, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom releases in theaters December 22nd.
Headed to the wedding?
Of my sister? Yes, I am.
So where's your fiance? Wait, is this him? Hey, I'm Ben. I was her hall pass on your break.
Wow, you are a child.
So changing lanes for a second, up next we have an anticipated R-rated rom-com that drew an odd amount of buzz when it was announced, but alas, we have Anyone But You. Ben and Bea's first date can be described as fiery and passionate, but then things took an abrupt left turn, never to be seen again. That is, until they both unexpectedly reunite at a destination wedding in Sydney, and to keep things cordial, they pretend to be a couple. Directed by Will Gluck, starring Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, Anyone But You releases in theaters December 22nd.
I told you, we are not landing. There is no way we're landing.
Are you sure no one's watching?
When, Mallard? Do it now.
Now we turn our attention to animation as we have a new film release from Illumination titled Migration. A group of ducks try to convince their father to go on a vacay, but things go off as they try to fly south to the island of Jamaica, but end up getting stuck in New York City. Directed by Benjamin Renner and Gylo Hamzi, starring Kumail Nanjiani, Elizabeth Banks, Awkwafina, Danny DeVito, Keegan-Michael Key, and more, Migration releases in theaters December 22nd.
Morning.
Pants tomorrow, please, David.
Perry.
So up next in our next release, we have a biographical sports drama named The Iron Claw, which goes into the story of the famed Texas-based Von Erich wrestling family. Directed by Sean Durkin, starring Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and Harris Dickinson, The Iron Claw releases in theaters December 22nd.
Keep your head held high, just like Mom taught us.
This time I'll be free from you and then turn to creation.
Now finally heading towards the last releases of the month, the Christmas Day releases. I already got my underrated gem of the month, and it's the star-studded cast with this new adaptation of The Color Purple, which tells the lifelong struggle of an African-American woman living in the early 1900s South and her journey to independence. Directed by Blitz Bazawule, starring Taraji P. Henson, Danielle Brooks, Coleman Domingo, Corey Hawkins, Her, Hal Bailey, Felicia Pearl-Mbasi, and Fantasia Barrino, The Color Purple releases in theaters Christmas Day, December 25th.
You get in the wind. Slow.
Next on our Christmas Day releases, we have another biographical sports drama taking place in the racing world with Ferrari. The movie tells the story of Enzo Ferrari in the heels of a deteriorating auto empire, also in the midst of a divorce, the death of his son, and his company on the verge of bankruptcy. He then decides to push himself and his drivers to the brink of recognition again as they launch into the Mille Miglia, a treacherous 1,000-mile race across Italy. Directed by Michael Mann, starring Adam Driver, Penelope Cruz, Shailene Woodley, Sarah Gadon, Gabrielle Leon, Jack O'Connell, and Patrick Dempsey, Ferrari releases Christmas Day, December 25th.
Most of you will not be chosen. Beautiful speech, Coach.
So this may be the month of biographical sports dramas because we have our final release of 2023 being another biographical sports drama with the film The Boys in the Boat, which is set in the 1930s in the early stages of the Great Depression, as it tells the story of the University of Washington rowing team from small beginnings to winning gold at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Directed by George Clooney, starring Callum Turner and Joel Egerton, The Boys in the Boat releases again Christmas Day, December 25th. So that is it for our major theatrical releases that are releasing in the month of December. We've had such a great year of movies all throughout the year, and nice way to wrap it up with some of these movies that are coming out this month. If I didn't mention a movie here in this list, definitely feel free to comment down below a movie that you're looking forward to seeing in December of 2023. Looking forward to the new year. Hopefully you'll be able to catch a lot of these releases, a lot of solid releases we're having this month. If you support the channel, make sure you give a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, again leave a comment on your favorite movie or any movie that you may be seeing in this month, and also follow us on Twitter and follow us on our website as well. So thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you again in the next one. Peace.